graduation, where you're so proud. You're so, proud of yourself, proud of each other. You're happy for one another. You want to see each other succeed. You want to see them go beyond this point and have other opportunities, other moments where maybe we can see each other again down the road. And, it's such a celebration, but it's also a huge shift, this undercurrent under all of it that says, wow, we graduated. It's over now. We have to move on. And that is just, everybody can relate to that. There's a sadness there that it's that moment in time where you're just like, wow, this is the moment. It's surreal and it's happening right now. And so honestly, I'm glad I'm here with you guys. Like, this is the place to do it. If we're gonna be anywhere, it's with our fans, with people who actually love us and care for us and have been rooting for us this whole time. So San Diego Comic-Con is where it's at. Oh,
I know you guys talked on the panel, like, prepped for that, but did you actually know it was officially ending beforehand, or was it just kind of like a guess?
I just, so before we started season 4, Chris had a feeling based on, he has a lot more information than we do. And I think from talks and understanding the money side of things and what is happening in the industry, I think he had a feeling come over him that was like, we need to treat this with the utmost sacredness and respect. So I think he made the choice with his writing team to just finish the storylines from 1 to 4. And the idea was, we have set the precedent that things happen here in Patience. So if we do get a season 5, then this story arc can be done, and we can, I don't know, go see where Harry lives on the planet. Go see him and Heather having babies. And what if Asta went to space? Like, what if there's so many possibilities, right? Like, for everybody, all of a sudden, what if there's more aliens that start to come and Harry has to come back to save them because there's other alien species? What if that alien was Will Ferrell? Like, who knows? You know what I mean? Like, it's so much could happen. So we just thought there is a possibility of life beyond season 4. But I'm just so glad that we had the chance to end strong. Not every show gets that. Not every show gets, as a writing team, as a cast. I've heard some horror stories about how you didn't even know you were done. So I'm really glad that Chris had that intuition to tell us to really appreciate the time that we were having together. Although March of this year was like a funeral every day, every set. It got to the point where it was pretty funny because we were like, this is the last time, for the first time that we'll be here for the last time. I mean, everything became a landmark. So I think we were all exhausted emotionally by the end. But I think that's why we can now, months later, have processed and be here. And yeah, there's still sadness that it's really happening now, but we've done a lot of the crying already. Although I was crying today at the panel, so I don't know. Maybe I'm not done crying.
What will you miss the most about playing Asta? Not just the cast, but
Yeah.
the character herself.
Asta has taught me so much about going slow and being meaningful in her words and how she speaks to people and what she wants. And I think I'm going to miss this feeling of lightning in a bottle a little bit with Asta. She's always been a bit zipped up, but I've always felt this internal feeling with her where she wants to say the thing or do the thing. And I feel like in some ways she's unzipping now and beyond the show, who knows what's going to happen for Asta, but I love this idea that she's going to soar wherever she goes, even if she stays in Patience or doesn't, because that's what her dad is putting on the table now. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? I love that idea for her. So I'm going to miss just being in the internal space with her, but I feel it's so silly. I feel so proud of her, and I'm just excited to see her let go for the first time, really in her life, and trust herself.
I was gonna say, I'm sorry to do this. I have to bail. I have another appointment.
That's okay.
Right now, but
That's
it was
all right.
really nice talking.
Nice to meet you too.
And great stuff, Mark.
Yeah. In season 1, in some ways, Asta was the most relatable because she was the most flawed and dark and people pleasing and confused. But I think she got to a place where she caught her stride. Actually, this season, I think season 4. I think she's had a chance to like laugh a little and love a little and have some sex and like chill out and have this great relationship with her daughter, and it's not so serious, it's not so sad, and I think her relationship with Darcy and Harry and everything she's learned from Patience has really gotten her to this point. So I feel like she's just now catching her stride, which is it's sad that we have to stop here, but I feel like, isn't that the best place to leave a character that you love? Like, it's as if she's like hopping on a horse and riding into the sunset, and you're like, I believe in you. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can do it. Right.
I have to say, unzipping literally.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Unzipping. I mean, you know what, though? Let's be honest. Like, she was zipped up, literally, figuratively, mentally, and we need to normalize, like, sexual health and, like, mental wellness, and we need to normalize, like, just being able to talk about those things openly. So I love that for her. And actually, Chris came to me and was like, do you think Asta would be in a relationship right now? And I was like, hell no. She's been through so much. I think she wants to have some sex and like feel good about herself, but I don't think she's ready to like commit to another person. I think she wants to commit to herself. And I was really glad that he heard me on that. Poor Joseph, but and what a great guest star character. He's so great, but he's not the guy, And what if it's not even a guy? Who knows? She's trying to just figure things out, So I'm excited for her. I love the idea of maybe a movie one day. We can catch up and see where she is, what she's doing. Honestly, I kind of hope she's like on a beach somewhere. Like the best idea of, and that maybe Darcy visits her, or like or she comes back and forth because she can. I like this idea that she's a nurse in a small town that is actually like.
Is this your fan fiction that you're writing here?
No. She's saying like, where she'd be in 15 years or 20 years. I'm just saying like maybe she'd be, maybe she would be, I don't know, in a hammock somewhere, just relaxing. Yeah. That's my hope for anybody, frankly, is that they're doing exactly what they want, when they want. Yeah, right? My mom said that once. Like, we were talking about mental health, and my dad and I, we have anxiety and whatever, and we were like talking about how it looks inside the brain. It was like bullets flying and like cabinets and files everywhere. And we like turned to my mom, who does not necessarily struggle with this, and we were like, what does your brain look like? And she was like, a hammock on the beach. I was like, I want a vacation in your brain, Yes.
Yeah, mine's like Evil Dead.
Right? Yeah.
The old lady from Evil Dead.
Yes. Yes.
Well, you could say, for example, were there any other types of ways you could that, like graphic novels or something? Because you're talking about the, normalizing, speculating, would that be something where we could try to do something like that and have her story continue?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. I mean, I think this show has so many great character relationships that I feel like we could really do a bunch of spinoffs. Like, I kind of want to see a spinoff of just Max and Harry. You know what I mean? That dynamic is so fun. I think Darcy and Asta could have a spinoff. I think Deputy Liv and Sheriff Mike can, like I said, they could have other aliens come to their planet, and they'd be the ones who were like Scully and Mulder. I think it'd be cool to have a spin-off. I think you're right. I think it would be, I don't know about a graphic novel. But I do love the idea that maybe, I don't know, there's a fan out there maybe who could do some fan fiction and come up with their own version of where Asta is in 15 years from now. And the fact is, she might just be right back in patients, but loving herself, and that's what matters.
Yeah. If you could sum up like the finale without too much, how would you describe it?
The finale is a really big, beautiful bow on every story arc. I think when you start a story and you're like, where's this going to go? How's this going to end? There's all kinds of ways it can go, but we are ultimately a comedy. We are not a drama fully. Like, if I had to lean one way or the other, we have a little beautiful balance of both, but the truth is, like, we're a comedy. So I think there's hope in that. And I think the fans are going to be happy to see resolution that makes sense for everybody. And it doesn't even necessarily mean full resolution. It's just, I think it's satisfying that, you start somewhere and then you get to somewhere and you're like, yeah, that makes sense for them. I feel like that's how I feel with friendships. Friendships, my TV characters that I love. When I get to the end of something, I'm like, oh yeah, that's how I'd want that for them right now.
Yeah.
If this is it, and usually it is. So, yeah. Yeah.